Okay, so. Oh gosh. Okay, so. Biggest thing is the fact that, Oh gosh. So, Sanzel can't be with us tonight. For reasons that are kind of unexplained but seemed pressing, so it's chill. What we're gonna do is we're going to basically backpedal to when y'all were spending one of the nights with Ula in the tunnels. And we're basically gonna do a little dream episode.
Oh, good. You mean the whole fucking. It all is a dream. It was a
Yes.
godly vision that. Oh.
It was a warning from
It was a
Ruders.
warning. Dudes, don't do this. Don't say theater troupe. That one was on me, but yeah.
Yeah, no, the districts, bro.
Fucking Hawkeye doesn't
Really
know
should have
shit.
explained something to you in the 2 weeks we traveled. In the week.
They didn't say shit like, "Oh, which district is which." Hawkeye wasn't listening. He was vibing.
like Zerith is over here trying his best to explain to you the district system, and you're just like vibing to a song in your head, just like do 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 do.
Dude, I know the exact song too. Hold up, I got it.
Oh
I just
no!
imagining like he's listening to the God in his head, and he's like, "God, am I doing the right thing?" And it's just like nailed from TFS. I think so. Got to make room for the pool table.
This was fucking Johan. This was Hawkeye. While
Yeah.
Zerith was trying to explain shit to him.
Kill me. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Yeah. He's like, did I leave the stove on?
What's a stove?
Oh no! Okay. Um,
Where'd my
he.
character sheet go?
What?
Can't open my character sheet.
What's that song by Bruno Mars that goes, I'm too hot, hot damn.
That's
Uptown Funk, right?
Uptown Funk, yeah.
Okay.
Can you open it now?
No.
Hold
Hell.
on. Let's see. I can open mine.
Let me reload.
Mine's open.
Yeah.
I break things a lot. Fixed it.
Ah, cool. Okay, so basically, just like to just let you all know in advance, I'm gonna go like each of y'all are gonna have separate dreams. So pick a number between 1 and 4.
3.
2.
2,
Fuck.
No, one of y'all has to repick.
4.
4.
Damn it!
You bitch!
Okay. So Dylan is 3.
That was roll a d4.
Huh?
That was roll a d4.
That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna
Oh,
roll. I
I'm
was
sorry,
gonna roll a
I'm sorry.
d4.
Well, shut up.
Jesus Christ.
Just do it based off of how we're lined up on the thing right now.
And it's the one number y'all didn't pick, so we get to re-roll. 4. Who picked 4? Jiffles? Ooh, okay, cool. So, we start out with you, Jiffles. I'm gonna take some creative liberty and say that you fell asleep with the feather that... Oh gosh, what was his name? Cly? That Cly gave you.
Oh, okay.
You're holding it close. You're just like, yes. The feather.
He flew with this. Maybe I can too.
So, you come to... Well, come to is a bit of an interesting way to put it, but it feels like coming to in this place. Can everyone see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you come to, and you see a figure off in the distance towards this lake. The whole place is shrouded in darkness, with just enough light for you to be able to see. The figure has its back turned to you. He has monk-like robes and a darker complexion. What do you do?
Does it feel uneasy or
I'd
kind
say
of
you feel relatively at peace.
at peace? Okay. I'll waddle closer and just kind of call out, "Greetings!"
The figure will turn, and his piercing yellow eyes will meet yours and say, "Greetings, child."
Where am I?
You're at the Cove of Light.
Very dark.
Yes, it does appear to be dark from your perspective, doesn't it? And he'll seem puzzled at this. He'll put his hand up to his chin and just be like, Do you know why you're here, child?
Not at all.
He'll chuckle at that. Say, I see you have something there in your hand. Let me see it. And I'll motion to the feather that you can see you still have in your hand. All of your stuff, all the rest of your stuff is gone.
Oh. Jiffles will just kind of like look over his like stuff, like, where did it all go? And shrug and be like, can I have it back after?
Of course, child.
Okay. He hands the feather over.
He'll inspect the feather. Yes. Yes, one of my other children, Clyde.
You're his father?
Of a sort. Do you know who I am?
No.
He'll crouch down in front of you and hand you back the feather. And say, I am Rudos. Do you know of me
The
now?
god that might let me fly.
Yes.
Yes! Clay told me. He like does a little like half jump like children do when they're excited and they clap.
He'll give you a warm smile. You have known much darkness. I struggled to reach you. That's why this place is so dark. But Cly has interceded for you. And one of my other children is with you as well, but I struggled to reach him.
Hawkeye?
Yes. Yes, that's him.
We're running. Bad things are happening.
Describe them to me. If you want
And
just
Jiff-
brevity, you can, unless you want to roleplay that.
Jiffles just, as best he can, tells him what happened in the tower and why we're running.
Okay. He'll look troubled and say, you have a lot on your plate. I'm sorry that I can't help you more. We have been quite limited in our ability to reach your world. It's been nearly severed from the rest of us.
Why?
We've been getting a strange energetic barrier. It's been going on for centuries. Certain gods can pierce it, and certain ones can't. But we're not quite sure why.
Do you think it's how do you say the god's name?
Asterix.
Zestrix?
Asterix?
Yes.
I do believe I've heard Amir talk about them before. Is she a literal god in your world?
believe so. Everyone's forced to call her a god.
We'll have to talk about this more. But enough about the politics of the gods. Let's talk about you, child. You seek flight.
Okay. Yes.
Tell me why.
My kind was cursed. All we want is flight back. We know what it feels like. Our bones, they are light, frail like birds. But we can't fly. We're so light, so close. But no wings. And Jiffles just looks sad.
He'll pat you on the head and say, I can make no promises, but if you will vow to me that you will try your best to keep me informed on Asterix and whatever plagues you and the rest of your friends, I will do my best to find some solution to your flight problem.
It would mean the most to me. I'll keep Hawkeye safe too.
Be sure that you do.
Should I tell him anything?
You can tell him anything you like. Nothing I tell you is secret. I do my best to not keep secrets from any of my children.
Can I call you Dad?
He'll grin and he'll say if that is what you desire.
Thank you, Dad.
Aww.
Aww.
He'll smile and he'll reach into his satchel that he has around his waist, and he'll hand you a scroll. And if you do you open it?
Sure.
Okay, you open it and there are runes on it, but you're unable to read them.
I can't read this.
Hawkeye will know what to do with
Excuse me.
Bless you.
it. Hawkeye will know what to do. He will read it for you and get you the information that you need from it. But for now, our time goes short. My power has its limits. I can no longer keep this tether alive.
Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you, Dad.
It's a pleasure to meet you, child. Be safe.
You too.
Fair adventures. Then the dream will fade. And you slip off into an actual dream instead of a vision. So I'll put that scroll in your inventory later.
Okay.
Yee. Because I had, not gonna lie, I had a whole different plan for today's session. And then Sanzel messaged and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh shit.
So all of this is like spur of the moment, 30 minutes before the session. Let's go. So I'm sorry if a lot of it's on the spot, not great. So, but I'll figure out the scroll and
It's cool.
cute. Okay. Let's roll
I
it
got
up.
to meet Dad.
Aww.
That is freaking adorable.
It's so cute.
3? It was 3.
Yeah, I
What did you
chose
roll in?
3.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's see. So you fall asleep, and you come to and find yourself in a place that you have visited before. It's called the Garden of Lovers. But something's off about it. You've never seen it this dark.
Even in my dreams, everything's dark.
So you would know that this garden is typically frequented by couples who want to get the blessing of Euros, the god of light, or the god of love. And he is typically found in, what would you call it, this little seating area. And he very rarely leaves it.
It is like pitch dark, and I'm trying to find my way around. I'm
I
like, where
thought
am
I
I
turned on
going?
global illumination. Hold on.
No, it's all good. It's just kind of funny. Like, Hawkeye is just sitting there, like, so dark in my dreams. There we go.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, that's so much.
No, you're going the wrong way.
It's dark in my dreams. What's the fucking point anymore?
Fucking, I can't escape. I'm gonna walk around. Doo-doo-doo.
So Euros appears to be burning incense and muttering. Muttering something under his breath in a language that is foreign to you. But he doesn't open his eyes when you approach, but he does acknowledge you. He stops talking. He says, "Has been quite some time since you've been here."
Yes, it has. Forgive me, but do we know each other?
He'll stand and brandish his symbol to you as the god of love and light, and say, "I am Euros. You have uttered my name before."
Hawkeye's just gonna like immediately get super embarrassed and like go down to one knee and say, "Forgive me, Lord Euros. I didn't realize it was you. It's been some time since I have looked upon your visage."
He'll give a slight smile. There's no need for apologies. You have been through trying times.
Certainly has been.
Is there anything I can do for you? Any way I can help make your struggle? Oh my gosh, your struggle. Is there any way I can make your struggle lessen?
Some guidance is always appreciative from yourself. I struggle to figure out how I came to be down here. I just remember falling asleep in a cave one night and then waking up bound and gagged and thrown into a whole different world where your name and Rudos, everybody else's names have been claimed as heresy, and it bothers me deeply.
That is troubling indeed. As for how you came to be away from your homeland, from what I and the others have seen in your case and many others, you were taken by a group of, well, quite literally heretics to the old gods. We've been hearing rumors, echoes of a name. Asterix, I believe, is what one of the others has called this entity. We're not quite sure if this entity is an actual god that the rest of us are unaware of or are unable to contact. But you were taken by that is as much knowledge we have of the underworld. We have very little access to it. And the ones of us that do have access, well, they have quite literally cut themselves off from the rest of us and refuse to communicate on that matter.
That seems oddly suspicious.
Yes. Yes, to put it lightly.
Is there any way I could offer my services to remedy this predicament?
He'll think about that for a second. Give me just one moment. He will. He'll pull out a small. Yeah, he'll pull out a small book. It's, like I said, very small. It's leather bound. And it has the symbol of each god on its cover. And he'll hand it to you and say, this is a book of invocations. Perhaps, since the gods won't listen to us, perhaps if you call upon them with these, and ask each of them for their own information, perhaps that will not only help us gain the information we need, but help you find your way back to the light.
He'll nod his head, he'll just kind of bow and just say, thank you for this gift. I greatly appreciate it. Is there any way you could let my wife or family know what happened to me? Give them a sign of something that I'm okay?
He'll give a warm smile and say, of course. Of course I will.
And I have one more request. Sorry.
No, speak.
Have you been in contact with Lord Rudos at all about my mission and any new information I can glean from him aside from abandoning mortal weapons and becoming a weapon myself? It's kind of an odd riddle.
Yes, he does tend to speak in those. I have no new information for you on that front, but I will make sure to I'll make sure to ask him next time I talk to him, and I'll get the message to you somehow.
Thank you. I humbly appreciate everything that you've done, and please let my family know that I'm safe.
I will.
In sorts.
Yes. Yes, your predicament is quite troubling. I will let them know that you are safe for the time being.
And he's just gonna whisper thank you a bunch of times.
He'll give you a small bow, and then say, if there's nothing else you have to ask me about, then you can return back to your new reality.
And Hawkeye's just going to keep saying thank you, but you'll see kind of like a couple of tears kind of roll down his face because he really misses his family and everything.
I don't blame him.
He'll stop because he was going to go sit down again back to his meditative state, and he'll stand back up and he'll approach you, and he'll put his hand on your head and say, "Be at peace." And you'll see an image. I say an image. Think of a mental GIF, basically, of your wife and son? Question mark.
He's got 4 kids.
Oh, okay. okay, children.
Oh,
Yeah.
Your wife and children. Having dinner, and while they do appear to be more melancholy than they used to be, you can see that your youngest child is poking fun at the oldest at getting kicked under the table. You can see that the two middle children are jabbing each other, and your wife is trying her best to, keep the dinner table from becoming a fight.
The Hawkeye's just gonna smile and shake his head and just. That's all he's gonna do. Just.
And then the image will fade, as well as the Garden of Lovers, and you drift into actual sleep. Let's go.
Yeah.
Onwards.
But before we continue, guys, look at my new dice. They look fucking edgy, dude.
Hey,
Gosh.
Oh!
Nat 20, baby.
So red. I love the new lighting that they added, like, to the dice. They look so fucking good.
I like the stark difference between Jiffles talking to a god and just being like, "You're my dad now," and Hawkeye is just like, "Oh my, you are a god."
You're my god. You are my god. You're my
There is no
god.
1d3.
Boogie
I
woogie.
thought I'd try.
I rolled one, but this rolled a d6. I guess it just takes it and instead of making it 6, it's 2 3s, 2 2s, 2 1s.
Fair enough. No, but I love it. I love the contrast between how y'all talk. I just imagine when y'all can. I might actually do that. We'll see. Of y'all waking up and being able to talk to each other about it just briefly before we, end the session. Because I can't get over the possibility of Jiffles telling Hawkeye about how he talked to Rudos and being like, so I talked to Rudos, and Hawkeye being like, what?
Wait,
And it's
that
just like,
fuck.
he's my dad, and it's just like, excuse me?
He's everybody's dad, of course. Christ.
I love
He
it.
said I could call him dad though.
He did, yeah. I mean, he was just like, if that's what you want. Okay, cool. Anyway, it amuses me. So, onwards to Zerith then. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god.
Oh no. Temple. Ugh.
Sorry. You open your eyes, and you see this temple. There are windows, and while they do cast light, it's the bioluminescent light that you're used to. And at the end of the church towards the pulpit, you can see there's a woman in black robes with a crescent moon mask over her eyes.
Does the structure of the building remind me of what I would see back home in Trent? Or
No.
okay, this is completely alien to me, but similar at the same time.
I'd say it's similar. It's similar in lighting, but not in build.
Okay. Obviously, I know who this woman is, but does Zerith know? Just by looking and gathering from his surroundings and what he's heard. Or can I make a check?
Just for the hell of it, make a history check with advantage.
Okay. History. That's cool. I have a +2 to that. 12.
I'd say even with a 12, I'd say that it's not that difficult to at least come to the conclusion that this is, a god of some sort.
I'm just gonna make my way past the pews and approach the deity. Right there. And does she do anything as I'm approaching? Or am I able to, I'm not coming like up to her, I'm just coming closer into vicinity. All the while, like, I'm staring at her, but I'm not really, like, I'm not holding onto my sword by any means.
You're not what?
I'm not holding the hilt of my
Oh,
blade.
okay. So you're not, like, threatened. You don't feel threatened or anything like that yet.
But at the same time, can I roll to see if I know that this is a dream? I'm sorry. Or do I just know?
I'd say all of you would actually know that it's more of a, it's like a vision in a dream, like, trance.
So would it be too much for me to say that Zerith would assume that he couldn't be harmed here?
You can assume whatever you like.
But Zerith, with his knowledge, would that be assumption he would make? Is the question. Don't know. Sorry, I'm asking all the questions tonight.
No, you're good. I would say that you would probably be able to come to the conclusion that you won't, that any physical damage that you take here, you won't suffer from when you wake up.
Okay.
But as for any other type of damage, you're not quite sure.
He's gonna approach the god very similar to how you would approach a commanding officer.
Okay.
And once he gets about within the range that I am, he'll kneel down and wait for the god to acknowledge him.
She's kind of standing, not with her back towards you, but like with her side towards you, looking down at you. And says, "The lost one has come to the fold."
Without looking up, Zerith will keep his head down, because I mean he knows he's outclassed here. But he's going to keep his head down. He's going to say, "Would I be bold to assume that you are my queen?"
Bold, no. Correct, yes.
With that, he'll raise his head, and he's going to give her this look of determination, but just that tiniest hint of trepidation behind it. And he's going to say, "I've awaited your calling."
I've always been watching over you. Haven't you been able to feel my light?
He kind of like shakes his head, like he kind of looks down, like he feels beaten, he feels betrayed, not by her specifically, but by his people. And so he kind of shakes his head and he goes, "If only I could truly believe that were the case. With the horrors I've witnessed, I really don't know what to believe in anymore." And he's going to look up to her and he's going to say, "The men who have been carrying out your ward, they've corrupted it. They're using it to kill innocent people." Like he's like that stutter on people was like purposeful, because his entire life he was led to believe surface dwellers weren't really people.
Yeah.
But now he's like,
They're living beings.
yeah, they're being led to be cold like animals.
Yeah.
So he stutters there for a moment because he almost says like something not humanizing.
Yeah.
But he catches himself, and that's when he says people.
She'll look away from you. And oh gosh. She'll look away from you. And you can't see her eyes, but her mouth kind of twists down into a frown and just says, "Yes, that does sound very troubling. Is this the reason you've strayed?"
Again, like averting his gaze, Zerith says, I don't want to come across as if I'm leaving you, but the people who claim to be a part of you. the people who claim to worship you and have taken your name and sullied it. I will stray from them for as far as I can. Is there something we can do? We need to stop them. We need to put an end to their madness.
Give me a second, I have to think.
Can I say one more thing as you say that?
No, you're good.
He continues with, truly a goddess as benevolent as you would not allow innocents to come to harm.
Oh gosh. Let's see. I have to think really carefully. Roll. Roll me an insight check.
Normal?
Yep.
Oh, that's a 13.
That's still not bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. You notice hesitation, but that's about it that you would notice with the 13. But she does answer you. She takes a second, and she opens her mouth and just starts to say something, and then catches herself, turns to you and smiles and says, "You're right. I always do my best to protect the innocent. All of my children are important to me. I never want any of my children to stray. But I don't think I can convince you otherwise. Can I, child?"
So she's saying, she's basically like, let me make sure I'm picking up on this right. She's basically saying, no, that's pretty much what I want them to be doing.
She didn't say that.
Cause she's like, I wouldn't want any of my children to come to harm. Are you sure that you're straying from them or something like that, right? Like, I'm sorry, I'm confused by exactly what she said.
Okay,
'Cause, like,
so what she kind of meant was just like, yes, I do try my best to protect all of my people. I guess what I was going for is like, yes, I try to protect all of my people, but are you sure that you are also doing what's in the best interest of everyone?
oh,
You know, she's kind of questioning you on your motives as to why you're straying.
oh. Well, then Zerith will say,
Or do you want a second to think? Because I can say something else.
I'm just trying to word, like, I have the thought, I'm just trying to find the right way to word it.
Okay.
He'll say, if straying from your people, or no, if straying from those men, the ones who have lied to me my entire life, have filled me with falsehoods, if doing that means saving innocent lives, regardless of being lives belonging to surface dwellers, then I'll do that. After all, just because they're not from trans, just because they're not from, I'm sorry, what's the name of the continent again?
Leia?
Just because they're not from Leia doesn't mean that they're not your children. You agree with me, don't you? They deserve to live just as much as anybody, regardless of if they worship another god.
Roll me another insight check.
Okay. Come on, baby. 21.
That's better. Yeah, that's a lot better.
Woo! That's what we've been waiting for.
So you can see that she has this red crystal embedded in her chest. And she has this whole time been lightly clutching at it with her left hand. And during your speech, she has turned more towards you so you can see it more prominently.
Yeah.
And as your speech continued, she has dug her nails into it to the point where it started bleeding.
Oh shit. Okay.
And she'll look at you, and while you can't see her eyes, you can feel the glare that is coming from her.
Oh no.
And she says, "Child, I don't think you understand what you're talking about. Perhaps the overseers haven't been doing a proper amount of training. They're not my children until they've been initiated."
But they're way. Oh no, I'm sorry. He would just cut her off right
And
there.
she'd
but-
talk over you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, go for it, go for it.
She would try to talk over you, of just like, kind of like that mother speaking hush,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Okay.
And she would continue to say, like, have they not been training you formally? You have been, perhaps you have been the one that has been led astray. What teaching do you speak of? What practice has led you astray?
He shakes his head like hard, like I mean, fully denouncing what she just said, and he goes, He'll say, "It's not about what teaching I've experienced. It's about respect. It's about human decency." You mean to tell me that you side with the men who are killing innocents just because they claim it's in your name? Just for the off chance that they might be cleansed? He shakes his head and he goes, "I refuse to worship a god who believes in such filth."
I think you have been led more astray than you think. I do not seek cleansing for these people. I seek salvation. You have your rituals mixed up. Cleansing is for those of you who have gone astray. Salvation is for those who have not uttered my name a day in their life. They reach salvation in one of two ways. They either come to be with me, or they live on to worship my name among you. There is nothing wrong with what's going on. It is protecting the innocents. It's protecting them from the heresy that is their gods. They have been led astray by false voices and utterances in their ears.
And so they deserve to die for that?
It is not death. Not really.
As soon as she says that, like, Zerith is standing. Like, he's not kneeling anymore. Like, he's risen. And he's going to say, "Call it what you want. Salvation, cleansing, or whatever. It's all a sham either way."
A sham? Explain that to me, child. As you think the power of someone like me is a sham. You don't need to roll an insight check to tell that she's angry. He's gonna give the biggest, like, fuck you grin. You get this big wolfish grin, and he goes, "Yeah, you're right. You are a god. But I met somebody who told me of another one. And maybe they might be just that more powerful." She'll grin at that. Just this sly Rin, that you've heard the other overseers that have like the high like regent overseers talk about seeing Asterix, and they've never described anything like this to you before. You've seen images of her painted and sculpted in the halls of the different temples, and they're all of this sweet, loving, kind goddess with a smile that just lights up the room. This smile chills your soul.
Ooh.
She'll walk up to you. Do you pull away or no?
I want to know one thing first, because there's something I want to do, and I want to know, it'd be really cool. It'd be up to you.
Okay.
If I inflict physical harm to myself, will it take me out of this vision?
No.
Okay, damn. Fuck. That
Aw.
would have been the perfect fuck you. Okay. Can I roll a wisdom save?
2?
To see if he, like, backs away or not. Like, out of fear.
I mean, sure, if you want to.
Like, if I fail the save, he'll stay there because he's too scared to move. But if I make the save, I'll back away.
Okay, go for it.
I'll let you decide the DC. My wisdom
So,
is...
remind me which one's which again? If you pass the save, you move?
Yeah, if I pass the save...
Wouldn't it be the opposite? If you pass the save, you stay put? Or if you fail the save, you move?
I was thinking paralyzed by fear, but yeah, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
So yeah. If I pass it, I stay still.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Boop. Normal, disadvantage, advantage.
Normal.
22.
No, you can stay put.
Alright, yeah, I'll just glare at her as she approaches.
She'll walk up to you. And in the midst of all that, I kind of forgot what I was going to say. So now I have to think about it again. No, you're good. What was it that you were saying? God, what was it that you were saying before you asked me about the inflicting damage? Like, what was the last thing you said to her?
The last thing I said was somebody else has told me about other gods, and they might be just that bit more powerful than you. Basically, he's like, I can find somebody else who will take care of you for me. Okay. She'll give you that horrific grin. You can see, fangs. Yeah.
Which is something that I meant to make you make a perception check on that, but I already said it, so I'm just gonna give it to you. Which is also something that has not been depicted before.
Yeah.
So note that. She'll approach you, and she won't touch you, but she'll get right in front of you and say, I'd hate to see what happened to your friend happen to you. What was his name again? The one that tried to warn you. That defying me would lead you astray. I mean, he's been brought back into the fold. His heresy has been averted. As have the rest of the surface dwellers. Their heretical ways have been brought to the light. Everyone is happy here. You are the only one struggling.
Can I cut her off
Yeah.
by just spitting? Not at her, but like just spitting on the ground at her feet.
Sure.
Because I want to do that. I want to just a full on ugly ass loogie, right?
Ooh.
And no, I want to spit directly on her shoes.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do that. I'm going to look up to her, and I'm going to say, "There's no salvation in death."
We'll see about that when you meet me here again in a form that I can actually touch. And she'll brush her hands on you, but you can feel that there's a very stark difference between her form and yours. She is able to touch you, but it's almost like you can feel it, but it's more of like a numb feeling. So you know when your arm is
Kind of
numb?
like a cold mist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still tangible. You can still feel her. It still moves your skin on your cheek, but it's cold. And it's almost like it's there and not there at the same time. And she'll slowly brush her hand over your cheek like this,
Yeah.
and then she'll grab you by the throat. Not menacingly, but just I say not menacingly. She'll grab you by the throat, not aggressively, but just like to tilt your head up towards her so you
She's
make
gonna
eye contact.
just. I mean, he's been glaring at her face this entire time.
And she'll say, I'll bring you to the light yet. But for now, go be with your friends. I shall bring you all to salvation one way or another.
Can I say something?
She's gonna drop her hand and start walking away, but yeah, you can say something.
As she's walking away and like he kind of recomposes himself for just a second, he's gonna spit out like right at the last moment. I'm sure we'll be looking forward to seeing you again.
And you can almost sense the smile that comes to her face and say, as will I, lost one. As will I. And the vision will fade.
I can't wait to wake up and it's like, guys, I had the weirdest dream.
Like
Shouldn't be
same.
anything to worry about.
I found Dad.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
So if yeah, I mean all of y'all, we can say that y'all all sleep, you know, you actually get sleep. And then you all wake up the next morning and y'all, I feel bad for making y'all wait, so y'all roleplay for a couple minutes on what y'all want to tell each other. And then we'll fill in Sanzel next session.
He's still sleeping.
He's dreaming about banks and shit. So, how did everyone sleep? Anything interesting happen?
Zerith does not know how to bring this up. I like to imagine that, like, as you guys are like, you know, waking up, Zerith has probably been up for a bit. He wouldn't have gone back to sleep after that. He probably would have woken up like immediately and just been like, "Well, I'm awake for the night."
Okay.
And so like, as you, where are we at right now? Currently, is this like the day before we went and found that girl?
Probably. Y'all are still in the tunnels.
Oh, okay. Oh,
And
okay.
the sewers.
I'm gonna like take out some like rations and start like whipping up some oatmeal because I'm gonna say that I have that.
Okay.
So let me go use up one of my. I'll make some for everybody.
Yeah. I got some raisins we'll throw in there. Just kind of like, oh, look at that, dried fruits.
All right. So I make oatmeal for everybody, and as you guys wake up, I'll look at you, and I'll be like, "Good morning. You guys might want to eat up. It's probably going to be a bit rougher from here on out." And I'm gonna like hand each of them a bowl of oats. I'm just gonna put the fourth one down by Sanzel, just like try to nudge it against his cheek. And when I see him not wake up from around, I'm like, oh, he needs his rest. Thinks he's gonna need it. And then I'm gonna come down and sit with the two of you, and Ula, wherever she is she still with us at this point?
Ula, yeah, she would have been with you, but I guess you'd safely be able to assume that she's scouted on ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna sit down with the two of you and be like, so I have something I need to talk about.
By all means.
Go ahead.
How do I put this in the nicest way that won't freak you out? And he takes a few bites of his oatmeal. Like, there's a good 2 minutes of silence as he tries to, like, word it right. And I, like, imagine you guys just stare at him.
Jiffles is staring at you happily. A big smile on his face, just waiting.
And you can see him just, like, sweating as he's, like, taking bites of oatmeal.
Hawkeye's, like, eating his oatmeal and just kind of waiting, like, okay.
How much do the two of you know of Asterix?
I mean, was born here too.
That's right, you were. I'm sorry, Birdman. I forget. You're such an.
I'm a
Anyway.
weird one.
I do, but I mean, it's a good thing. It's you're charming. But
Oh,
yes,
thank you.
and then I'm going to turn to Hawkeye. I dare say I haven't done a proper amount of explaining on that subject, so would you like me to?
Yes, all I know is that she wants to kill me. So,
Yeah, you're not the only one now.
excuse me, what?
So Asterix is the god of this land. Goddess, I should say. And I'm going to go open up one of those notes so I can make sure I don't say anything wrong. Beep, 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 lore. She is known as the goddess of gods. And for the last 200 and... How old is Zerith? And for the last 278 years, I've worshipped her. I've worshipped her without even questioning what kind of being she was. I was visited by her last night. I had a dream that was actually much more akin to a vision. And I discussed current matters with her. I assumed that she would be, she would like to know that people are using her name and have corrupted her teachings and have made them to these bastardizations of what she actually stands for. That they're killing innocent surface dwellers and people and criminals and whoever they might be. People who don't deserve to die just for a few mistakes they've made. Just for in the name of her salvation. And I realized last night that she's really not a goddess. She's some form of malformed elf spawn. Is the only thing I could equate her to. I've never heard descriptions of her like what I witnessed last night. To be completely honest, half of me wishes I was visited by a devil who merely took her form. But I don't believe that to be the case. When I told her of what was going on, she merely said that I was the one who had strayed. When I contested that, well, it might have put a bit of a bigger target on our backs. She informed me that the next time she visited me in a vision, she would come prepared to, for lack of my imagination, kill me. So by then I need to find a way to be able to combat that. So if either one of you happen to know any way of extreme lucid dreaming, that'd be really helpful, actually.
Hawkeye's gonna bubble. Seems I wasn't the only one visited by a god in their sleep.
He'll cock an eyebrow at that.
I spoke with Uros, the god of light. He wanted to kind of theoretically check in on me and say he hasn't had a lot of contact with me. Or anyone from down here, for that matter. And just kind of...
I'm sorry. Do you believe you might be able to get into contact with him again?
I can certainly try with this book that he gave me, and I pull out the leather-bound book. He says I can call upon different gods and invocate their names, speak with them about certain things. So
Zerith cocks an eyebrow at you and he says, "You mean to tell me you're some form of summoner? A manifestor of icons?"
not exactly a summoner, more of just a I guess a messenger, kind of like a wayline, just kind of a spiritual connection between the gods and portals, I guess.
Zerith looks at you and he's gonna say, do you think there might be any way for you to secure a meeting between myself and your god. If he might have some means of training me for what's ahead, I actually want to take advantage of that.
I can certainly try, but from what he told me, that connection is sort of limited, and that some other gods haven't been in contact with him, at least. So there's been some kind of situation going on in the heavenly realms.
If they require aid, I'm more than willing to suffice, as long as they can promise me some form of quelling the issue at hand. I know
Well,
that
God's willing.
Rudo said the politics were bad.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Rudo said the politics were bad.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
But Hawkeye's gonna do like a hard turn, like, wait.
Yeah.
Rudos spoke with you? The Lord Rudos?
Yes, Dad!
Dad?
He said he's your father too!
Well, of course he is. He's everyone's father.
So nice of him.
Yes, but why did he specifically talk to you? That's very odd, since I'm kind of on his journey from his words.
Jiffles pulls up the feather. Is like, he said this helped. I slept with it last night.
Ah.
He said Kai helped. Don't know how, but he said he'd help. Well, he said he'd help me fly.
I told you words will help.
Excuse me.
I told him I'd help.
These oats are rather hardy.
What does he need help with? I figured he would be in more contact with me.
He said he was having trouble talking to you.
Like Uro said.
And I told him I'd take care of you. And he spaces out for a couple seconds. And I need to tell him with what's going on here, yes.
He didn't mention my journey or anything specific like that.
He said to help take care of you.
That's more riddles, I guess.
The scroll.
Oh, right! And he digs around, just looking for it.
You would have woken up with it in your hand.
Oh. You said you'd give it to me later, so I didn't know how that was going to come in.
Oh, well, I don't have the specifics on what's on the scroll at the time, but I'm going to figure it out. Because I like where this roleplay is going, so I'm going to roll with it. Like, there's going to be some, I'm going to tell you this right now, there's going to be some stuff on that scroll that is going to be there later that's not there right now, but we'll figure it out later.
Invisible ink, I knew it.
Yes!
I need the Ovaltine rig decoder.
Jiffles just pulls out the piece of paper, like, yeah, this! He said give it to you!
I kind of take it from him and unroll the scroll.
I can't read it.
Hawkeye, you'll be able to see that these are sun runes. And you are able to read them. You've studied with Rudos and followers of his for a while, and are able to, I'd say at least semi-fluently, if not fluently, read the vast majority of the scroll. It is indeed signed by Rudos, and it addresses you specifically. It starts out, "To my child, Hawkeye." And the letter goes on. I'll type up an actual letter later, but it basically...
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't have that much time to prepare.
It's all good.
So, the letter basically describes steps to take to get, like, loose steps, like, up to interpretation. He's very much keeping up with his riddle type stance. He's just like, yes, if you follow these 3 steps, perhaps you shall get here. Or maybe you'll go here, who knows, you know?
Christ.
But he's having fun with it. But he goes through and he lists off a bunch of things that potentially could get you to the path that he's trying to put you on. And you see an item that I am going to think of what it is later attached to the scroll. And he lists off how it can be useful, and this is you can relay this to the others if you so desire. If not, keep it to yourself. It says this item can only be used once. Be careful; its power can be devastating.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! He's got his Ragnarok protocol.
This is my nuke.
Yep, legit though. And then the letter ends with just signed by Rudos, and then Rudos' symbol.
I'm gonna kind of glance over the letter and just say they're sun runes. I can understand them pretty well.
Is
It's
it
kind
good
of
news?
it's great news, kind of. It's kind of a step-by-step process of my journey, but in more riddles.
Hmm.
Boy, I'm not that good with riddles. More metaphors and things of that nature. And there's something else. I think from what I'm understanding, it's a item of devastating power. A one-time kind of thing. One use, then it's done.
Be careful.
Zerith is gonna look at that and go, "That might be beneficial."
That might help you with your goddess problem.
Hopefully.
We should definitely tell the gods about the goddess problem.
I agree.
Well, I can definitely relay some information, send in a few prayers, say a couple chants. Hopefully someone's listening.
Anything would be beneficial. We need to do something. I don't know when Asterix is going to visit me again, but if she does and I'm not prepared, I probably won't come back. And I don't mean to be rude or blunt, but without me, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you guys to get through the rest of... Sorry, name of the continent again? Layath. It's going to be a lot more difficult for the rest of you to get through Layath. At the current moment, I'm your best chance. Which means anything I can do, or that we can do to help me get ready, will be beneficial.
You're also my friend now.
That's right, Birdman. We're comrades.
Yes, we're in it together.
Yes. And if we stick through this long enough, well, we might just be family.
We have to
Well,
help
I already
out
have
and
one of
get
those,
outside.
so I guess you'll just join mine.
Marvelous. More families.
Sounds nice to me. It's getting pretty early on in the day. We should probably head out.
What about sleeping Sanzel? He's sleeping very
Hey,
hard.
Hawkeye, you can carry him, right?
I was about to suggest I could carry him, so
Hey.
it all
I mean,
works out.
I can try, but I'm not really the strongest individual, if I dare say so. But if you wish for me to try, I can try.
No, it's all right. I'll carry him. He seems pretty
Jiffles
scrawny.
won't even try.
I
Jiffles won't do
Yeah,
it.
love the fact that you have a negative in strength. That's great.
Yeah, I'm busted, but I made sure to have a flaw. My dexterity is 22. Dude, my perception check have plus 11. My persuasion have plus 12. People like me, but I cannot lift. Like, at all.
I can't wait to pull that.
Damn!
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I can't. Oh, good
Ooh.
negative. What? That's just like you die. You trip over a rock and you just die.
That's just oh, it's so good.
Jiffles is not a strong man. By any means.
Is that why you really need to learn how to fly so you stop tripping over things?
He has brittle bones.
Oh, baby.
No,
He's a bird.
But yeah, I mean that's about as much as I had planned. We were gonna do hopefully some more of the Rifa arc, but this was actually really fun. I actually really enjoyed this.
yeah, kind of a kind of step back. Like, okay, crazy situation. What the fuck happened? And now it's like, okay, we have some sort of semblance of a plan.
Yes.
Give guidance. We're not just like, oh fuck, split up the party.
Yeah, legit though. So yee. Is there anything else y'all wanted to do, or should we just call a good session?
I think good session.
Yeah, it was a good session.
Yee.
It was fun.
Yay! Hopefully we'll do like a, full session with Sanzel and everything next week.
And hopefully my voice isn't super shitty.
It's beautiful, sweetheart.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, Dolores, the warlock, shall return.
Her third husband went to her patron.
The
She needs a
the
fourth.
seventh husband. Giblet is such a greedy bastard. Sure, I get another Eldritch Blast, but what's the point? Dating is not a good thing for me.
Things start to leak out. People start to know.
I have to keep moving towns. I'm a traveling warlock with a pet badger, Sniffles. I couldn't think of a
Don't worry,
I don't-
Sniffles. Never sacrifice you.